Do you know that the first successful open heart surgery on this planet was performed by a black surgeon within a black owned hospital? It was an African American doctor named Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. He performed the first successful open heart surgery in 1893. Following the surgery, white surgeons from around the world came to learn from Dr. Williams. Many white surgeons had attempted the procedure before, but all of their patients had died. There are hundreds of more black racially affirming facts, just like this one, that's being deliberately withheld from the black masses. Because our enemies write our narratives, they negatively distorts them in order to keep our perceptions of ourselves negative. Perception is extremely powerful because people function based upon their perceptions. By keeping our perceptions of ourselves negative, this conditions us to perceive ourselves through a false, inherent, subordinate identity that aids the white society in maintaining its social dominance over our lives. It's a control system that utilizes the immense power that shame has upon the human mind to mentally enslave millions of black people. Everything that the white society states about black people are lies designed to aid the white society in maintaining its white social capital and social dominance over black people. And when I say everything, I do mean everything. Case, point, and proof. They say that our racial group commits most violent crimes, are the largest recipients of welfare, and that we're the largest benefactors of affirmative action. They also say that black men are the most deadbeat fathers. The fact that everything they say about us are negative and black racially devaluing is cartoonishly unrealistic. But because they've socialized us to blindly accept whatever they say about us, most of us therefore never questions this cartoonishly unrealistic scenario. But everything they say about us are lies designed to aid them in maintaining their social dominance and social capital over black people. The U.S. largest recipient of welfare are not black people. Data reveals that the largest recipient of welfare are in fact Caucasians. Data also reveal that the largest benefactor of affirmative action in the U.S. are in fact Caucasian women. Therefore, by extension, the white society benefits most from affirmative action. And FBI data reveals that most violent crimes in the U.S. are in fact committed by Caucasians. Caucasian makes up the majority of mass shooters, serial killers, the largest committers of hate crimes, and most violent crimes, including homicides, are committed by Caucasians. Most cops in the U.S. have been killed by white men. Caucasians are also more likely than any other racial group to kill a parent and to kill a loved one for financial gain. These are all absolute facts. In regards to the myth of the deadbeat black fathers, the CDC found that 67% of black dads who don't live with their kids see them on a regular basis, compared to 58% of white dads and 33% of Hispanic dads. And there's compelling evidence that the number of black dads living apart from their kids stems from structural systems of inequality and poverty, not the unfounded assumptions that African American men somehow place lesser value on parenting. The study also found that black dads are even more likely to think it's important to financially provide for their children. Black people's negative perception about our collective state is an elaborate white deception. They also falsely portray us as being the leeches of society that haven't invented much throughout history. But the truth is, in fact, the exact opposite. In spite of cultural traumas wrought by the injustice of white racism and slavery, most inventions that have revolutionized the world were either in fact invented by black people or were directly inspired by early inventions by black people. Without black people, we would not have the airplane. The first airplane was built, patented, and flown by a black man 3 years before the Wright brothers flew theirs. Without black people, we wouldn't have We wouldn't have skyscrapers because it's because the black person has been elevated that we have skyscrapers. There would be no working light bulbs. We wouldn't have automobiles. We wouldn't have, there would exist no internet, no cell phones. We wouldn't have cameras and microphones on our cell phones. We wouldn't have the accurate weather forecasting system. We wouldn't have the cataract laser scope, which provided sight to millions of people around the world. We wouldn't have GPS, hearing aids. There'll be no touch-tone phones, no caller ID, no home surveillance security systems. We wouldn't have home game cartridges. We'd have no steam engines, no traffic lights, no air conditioning, no modern PC, no 3D movies, no central heating, no refrigerators, no helicopters, no washing machines, no lawnmowers, no dryers, no refrigerated trucks, no blood banks, no fiber optics, no nanotechnology, no female sanitary pads, no bathroom tissue holder, no pencil sharpeners, no lawnmower, etc., etc. Black people have been factored in virtually every aspect of the lives of every person on this planet with our many inventions. They also miseducate us to believe that we Africans were illiterate and uncivilized before the Europeans invaded, and that therefore we have no significant history that predates their invasion and enslavement of our ancestors. This is also an absolute lie. Long before the Europeans invaded Africa, it was Africans that civilized Europe. All of Greece's first scholars were educated by Africans. The world's oldest university, library, manuscript, encyclopedia, human prosthetic, mathematical tools, medical journals, and the world's oldest standing kingdom are all located in Africa. Africans are the first to build in stone and the first to smelt metal. Africans introduced science, writing, mathematics, and philosophy to the world. Africans invented the wheel, paper, the calendar, the concept of 24 hours in a day, the 365-day calendar, the clock, leap year, organized labor, surgical instruments, cosmetic, the plow, the wheel, black ink, the ink pen, shoe, high heel shoes, condoms, hair wigs, hair dyes, hair extensions, makeup, hairbrush, keys, hair combs, level, vase, Bretmans, the chisel, toothpaste, door locks, doorknobs, shaving, writing, human prosthetic, astronomy, solar calendar, paved roads, governments. Africans had introduced the use of toothpaste, perfume, fragrances, oil, deodorants, and even introduced the daily bath to Europeans. And the Darwin evolutionary theory chart does not apply to we Africans. For unlike Caucasians that evolved from lower primates, we Africans have always been Homo sapiens. Africans are the true homogeneous human species. Your perception of reality is an elaborate white deception. Perception acts as the lens through which we view reality. But the problem is that the lens through which we perceive reality has been distorted and warped by a racist, narcissistic white society that shapes our perception of reality. It is time to wake up and see our reality.